The Horizon Task Force was formed to study the business viability of Nissan launching a luxury brand. You have to remember, in Japan, Nissan had been selling luxury cars, expensive cars for some time, just not in the United States. Part of the business case for a luxury brand has to consider the emotions and the psyche of the consumer. Would consumers have the emotional acceptance of a Japanese luxury brand, or would they still pigeonhole anything that came out of Nissan as, oh, those are the guys that build these really high quality, durable cars and trucks, and not be able to get beyond that? The answer that the Horizon Task Force came up with, and it took about a year after looking at all the numbers, all the research, was it was worth a shot. Once the green light was given on the relatively straightforward business case, then came all the magic of how do we execute this? How do we actually build a brand that people will aspire to own? Before the 80s, quality and customer care were not big items. The industry was fairly transactional. The car business tended to be sort of an inherently adversarial situation where you've got customers coming in, they kind of know what they want and they know what they have to spend, but then you have the dealership personnel and the car salesman trying to get as much money out of them as possible. It was something that had to be endured, tolerated, and once you got your car and went home, then you could start enjoying it. We thought, all right, we're gonna have a great vehicle, but if we really go down this customer experience path, we could be onto something. We actually went into fairly great depth to define what luxury meant to people in the United States. And one of the things that kept popping up wasn't necessarily, well, softer seats and, better air conditioning or cushier or what, it wasn't those sorts of creature comforts necessarily, but luxury actually started to be a lot about time. The thing that we all are given the same amount of is time. And so if I, as a brand, can make better use of your time and treat you as if I respect the time that you're giving me, that's a big, big deal. That's a luxury. Instead of wasting my time or treating me like I don't matter, I would definitely characterize the Infiniti ownership experience or total ownership experience as a very tailored experience. One where it's the opposite of cookie cutter. I'm gonna find out what matters to you, what drives you, why are you here, what's important to you, all those things, so that I treat you the way you wanna be treated. If you're driving a traditional luxury car, you're fitting the car. We want Infiniti to fit the person. The way this dovetails into sort of the Japanese ethos, if you will, we didn't call them customers. We certainly didn't call them ups, which was a traditional lingo in the auto industry. We started calling them honored guests to create more of a hospitality environment like you would at a fabulous hotel or resort or restaurant. You can go to any hotel and get a room, even nice rooms, but the experience of being treated like a guest can vary widely. The way you treat people as an honored guest, even within the United States, is different from region to region and city to city. The culture of the Southeast is different than the culture of the Northwest. So what we wanted to get them really comfortable with was taking a universal principle and then let them use their creativity to execute that locally in their environment. People experience being treated as an honored guest emotionally. It's feeling like I'm being valued, like I'm being respected, like I can trust you. How you got there was only limited by your creativity. It was very collaborative, not just amongst the US team, but also with the Japanese team as well. How do we evolve this and continue to evolve this into something that has never stayed, never gets old, but is always fresh, a new experience sort of every day.